Roberto Cyborg beat John Hansen in the other side of the bracket. And I mentioned that heel hook because the last time these guys faced off, back in the December 2019 at the NoGi Worlds, Cyborg won the weight division final, the ultra heavyweight division final. He won that one on points. And then in the absolute final, Victor Hugo was able to win via a knee bar. So I do wonder if the leg locks will be a factor today here in this match, considering that Victor Hugo already has one very notable leg lock submission win today.
Victor Hugo quick to pull. Perhaps a wise choice as Cyborg's wrestling has looked great throughout this entire weekend.
You can see Victor Hugo edging forward. Cyborg very much staying on the outside. That's definitely his style, the way that he likes to pass guard. He likes to use mobile passing, explosive, jumping around. But this over-under pass right here, this is one of his preferred positions from which to pass the guard.
Yeah, this is not a great spot for Victor Hugo to be. Cyborg has a lot of different transitions that he's good, has very clever, let's say, moments here. And he's going to look to probably step over Victor Hugo's right knee. He's trying to do it right there.
Nice work there from Victor Hugo in stopping Cyborg in his tracks. Cyborg resets, back out to the outside, and will start over. Now there's a little look at a wrestle up, almost catching the ankle and chasing Cyborg, but they come back into the center of the mat. I'm looking over into the sidelines, and you can see Rafael Lovato Jr. very eagerly coaching Victor Hugo from the bleachers, while on the other side of the mat in the coach's chair, Shanji Ribeiro. So got two very powerful voices on two sides of the mat. Hand fighting here from this open guard position.
Victor Hugo seems to have a difficult time right now engaging with Cyborg without Cyborg aggressively making that position in his favor as Hugo tries to set up a guard.
Cyborg's only really engaged once so far, and that was that jumping guard pass that led into that over-under position. There's a deeper entry, but uh-oh, look at this. Victor Hugo trying to go on an arm here. It looks like he could have the arm. Cyborg rips it out. And an advantage scored for that as well. Okay.
Ooh, shakes it out a little bit. That might have had a bite to it.
It could be, right? Yeah. Just goes to show that you've got to be very careful entering the guard of Victor Hugo. So dangerous. Can go upper body or lower body. Pretty amazing to think that Victor Hugo, he got his black belt in 2019, and since then has risen to the very top of the ultra heavyweight ranks. One of the new generation of heavyweight grapplers, Chase. And we watched him come up through the color belts, right? We watched him come up purple, brown. He had standout careers in the color belt ranks and arrived fully formed in the black belt divisions. And from the very get-go was competitive on the world level. And since then, over the last couple of years, well, he's just further proved that. It hasn't always been plain sailing, of course. The first couple of years, there's been a lot of learning, shall we say, a lot of moments that haven't gone his way, but of course I think that all of those contribute to the man we see here today competing in this this ultra heavyweight final.
I mean, that's just the life of an athlete. Very rare is it that you come in as a rookie black belt and just dominate the scene. There are ups and downs. That's to be expected, right? But Victor Hugo has the fortitude to keep going and evolving. And it really is one of the most exciting games today.
Close guard for Victor Hugo. He's got a deep overhook with his right hand. Looking to climb. Got one arm in here. Could climb high for this triangle.
He's looking for
choke.
a triangle, but that's a risky proposition for something like triangle. See, this looks pretty good, though.
That is high.
This looks good.
That is high, and that is tight. Switches to the other side triangle. Cyborg manages to rip out another advantage scored. And you know what? I saw Cyborg take a deep breath after coming out of that choke there as well.
Yeah, I mean, in the heaviest weight classes, it's always kind of risky to throw up a triangle because you do not want to be stacked, right? But Victor Hugo made that look really, really tight.
Big squeeze.
And it was only when he looked to switch the angle and cross over the other leg that Cyborg was able to find that brief moment to escape. But a great look from Victor Hugo, giving him 2 advantages now as we enter the final 4 minutes of this match.
Trying to catch those ankles. Victor Hugo stalking forward. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this match. Cyborg circling away, and I feel like he may be a little reluctant to dive back into the guard of Victor Hugo. Now that Victor's had a couple of pretty significant submission attacks, from the armbar earlier to the triangle choke, whether it's the open guard or the closed guard, Victor Hugo's bottom game is a threat, and that is a penalty against Cyborg for a perceived lack of engagement. Diving in once again is Cyborg. A little deeper pressure there.
Victor Hugo really having to scramble here. Cyborg almost settling in.
Here. Manages to roll. Cyborg on the back.
Wow,
Cyborg's got one hook in. No points just yet for this transition. Very close. Oh, we see the hooks go in. Cyborg gets the 4. 4 points to 0 now. Cyborg in a very strong position. He chose exactly the right moment to explode.
Incredible sequence there from Cyborg, really.
Lets the hooks go, allows Victor Hugo to recover, because now he's got 94 seconds remaining in this match, a 4-point lead. That's going to be hard for Victor Hugo to come back on. Will we see Victor Hugo change his strategy? Will we see him look to sweep and pass the guard? Will we look to see him reverse? Another penalty there scored against Cyborg, so that's an advantage for Victor Hugo. I have a feeling Cyborg's going to cruise from here on out. He's going to do his best to try and not get drawn into any traps and maintain that point lead that he has, because 4 points to 0.
I mean, the onus is on Victor Hugo at this point.
Absolutely. It's going to be so hard for Victor Hugo to come back from this. Not impossible. We said earlier, we've seen it. We saw matches earlier that lasted, well, excuse me, that ended in the final second. Oh, look at this, going high on the omoplata, going on the arm there. Victor Hugo cycling through the attacks. Up to his feet now. Will we see him wrestle?
He's going to need more than 2 points, so I think at this point, you got to go for the Hail Mary submission.
Oh, into the table, out of bounds.
That's a powerful table, my friend. I got to say.
That's over 500 pounds of combined weight going into that table right there. But the clock will run out. And Cyborg raises his hands in victory. He will take the gold medal here, the 2021 IBJJF World NoGi Championships. Well, Victor Hugo came close with a couple of very deep submission attacks, but ultimately it was the positional control. And look, here's some of those moments. Here was that initial armbar that Victor Hugo was able to snag. Great armbar transition there, but Cyborg ripped his arm out. Here was the triangle that Victor Hugo threw up. This one definitely, you could see the squeeze go on. The choke was pretty tight, but Cyborg again ripped out of it, managed to escape. And then see here, this is the guard pass. This was what allowed the sequence that allowed Cyborg to get the back, because Victor Hugo desperately turning away, not wanting to concede the side control, but in the process, Cyborg rolling with his opponent and able to land on the back, ultimately sinking in the hooks with the, there's the last second omoplata stroke arm lock attack, and again, Cyborg exploding out of it. The winner here in the ultra heavyweight division. Well, we'll see him back here again later in the absolute final, but we'll throw it over onto the podium. Take a look, you can see there the bronze medalists, John Hansen and Max Jimenez. Silver medal for Victor Hugo.